So good morning, everyone, and welcome to 2017. And I think you'd all agree we're off to kind of a strange start. I saw Doug Mon early this morning sort of wading in his shirt sleeves across the moat. And last week he was in a parka and it was 10 below and a whiteout. So I figure if we have another 50-degree temperature swing, it'll be 90 by the weekend. So we'll be in good shape. So we recognize it's not great out there right now, but I can't even imagine what it would look like out there if it weren't for our maintenance people. I know that I know they're very visibly attired over here, if you want to wave at them. My understanding is that some of them really didn't get a break at all and have been working from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. for 10 days straight to get the campus in the condition it is. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. The complete in-service schedule for this week is available online. The address should be easy to remember because it starts with ice.csi.edu/IAA, IAA standing for Instruction and Academic Affairs. Once you get there, you may have to log in depending on where you're at. Once you get there, there's an in-service event schedule and everything that we know about in our office that's been scheduled is there. If you see that and you have an event that you've got planned for this week that's not on that calendar, just call Shauna or Kelly and they'll make sure that that happens. Some of the highlights this week include, I saw Whitney, where's Whitney? There's Whitney. Whitney will be leading a presentation tomorrow morning at 9 with regard to general education assessment. And then Thursday afternoon, I'm really looking forward to this. The student services areas are putting together what they're calling an edutainment session, and I think it's a version of something that they've done in the past. But if you're a person that really doesn't quite know what happens in the student services area, I'd highly recommend that you make time to come over and check that out. And then the administration, again, will be serving breakfast on Friday morning, and we always look forward to that and spending that time with you. Just before the new year, as often happens, there's a lot of end-of-the-year retrospective kinds of articles that are published, but this year it was interesting that a lot of the headlines said things like 2016 the worst year ever. Now, I know just enough history to know that there have been some worse years than 2016. I think the dark ages come to mind. So I don't think it was the worst year ever, but I do admit it wasn't much of a feel-good year either. Regardless of whichever side of the house you reside in politically, this election and election year was nothing short of vicious and almost embarrassing, quite frankly. It was hard to watch, it was hard to hear, and for me it was hard to participate in. So there was the election, but it also seemed like 2016 marked the end of the lives of many people we admired. What are we going to do without Glenn Fry or LeVar Steele and so many others? Maybe we were the anomaly because for all its faults, let's not forget what 2016 saw happening here at CSI. So right out of the gate, the legislature elected to exceed the governor's recommendation for an increase in our base funding and allowed us to hire 5 new staff members, mostly in support of dual credit. We were also able to move our math lab coordinator to full-time. Is Susan here? Where's Susan? Hi, Susan. Congratulations. Dual credit enrollment increased by almost 800 students during the 2016 academic year to nearly 4,000. That made up 36% of our head count last year. By all accounts, that number will grow this year. Thanks are in order to all of you who are involved in our dual credit operation, which might be most of you, but especially to Cindy, Caesar, and their team who have made great strides in the quality control aspects of our dual credit operation. We've reorganized community education and added continuing education to our workforce training operation. Brandy and her growing team increased workforce training enrollments from around 4,300 last year to over 9,500 this past year, with a lot of good press along the way. And because of this reorganization, we had to disrupt some folks. I just want to thank Stacy, Ashley, Camille, and Diane for their patience as we work through this ongoing transition. After many fits and starts over the last 20 years, the faculty adopted a new general education core that includes wellness and a significant ability to innovate within our core topically. For example, when have we ever been able to offer popcorn for the apocalypse as general education? Thank you, Tracy and Chris, for that course. Did you even know about that? And thank you, General Education Steering Committee, for your leadership, and to Janaea for providing invaluable instructional design assistance for those courses. For the first time in all my years at CSI, new degree-seeking students were required to attend an orientation activity. The outcomes are striking. With a significant increase in semester retention, and maybe more importantly, these students averaged taking 11.6 credits compared with 7.4 credits in prior years. Think about that. The average load met the definition of full-time for our new students last fall. This was risky, but it's working. Thank you to all those involved with SOAR design and implementation. There were many of you, and kudos to Michelle Shute, who was asked to present the SOAR story at the Entering Student Success Institute in San Antonio this past November. Our transition coordinator team completed its first year of operation, and data suggests that they helped move the enrollment needle for our freshman class. This model promises to have more of an impact as time goes on, and they had great teammates in the admissions office. Speaking of which, the rock wall in the Taylor lobby has been replaced by our new Welcome Center, which is the new home for our admissions people. Is anybody going to miss the rock wall? The Board of Trustees authorized a major renovation to our internal and external websites, and I'm told the project is on time for summer completion, complete with mobile support and a new student portal. Thanks to our ITS team for keeping the project on track. You can hear more about that at a special session on Friday afternoon. That's on the schedule. After a long hiatus, we received a Title III grant worth $2.2 million over 5 years that will allow us to make significant investments in our wireless systems, improve the digital experience of our students, expand some technical programs, add bandwidth, and hire a new multicultural student coordinator. Congrats to our grant writer, Matt. Is he here? Where's Matt? Hi, Matt. Good job. And thank you to everyone who worked on that grant proposal. For all the success our athletic teams have experienced on the field or floor, what we might be most proud of is their academic achievement. 7 individual academic All-Americans and 3 NJCAA academic All-American teams. They don't just excel on the field of battle, but also in the classroom. I could go on, but I'm not going to. I'm not so sure I didn't just ruin President Fox's speech. Sorry, Jeff. Unfortunately, there are some of you out there who are going to be disappointed that I didn't mention some of the many other great things that we can point to and what made 2016 not the worst year ever, but a pretty good year. The point is that CSI continues to excel. We continue to get better. And what I'm most proud of, I think, is how we go about getting better. We do it together. And more importantly, why we do this. I'm so grateful to work with so many of you who get this, that our students not only pay for our best, but they deserve our best. I'm continuously moved by your commitment to them, to our community, and to each other. It's a great mission. It's a great place to go to college, and it's a great place to work. I can't wait to see what 2017 brings, except maybe more snow. Remember that our maintenance people got some practice with flood control last spring, so I'm sure they'll be on top of that. We were accused of building a new moat around our castle this morning. In the midst of all this excellence and success, we do want to single out a few of you who have demonstrated exemplary contributions to this mission over the past year. Last May, we recognized two of our best instructors from our excellent body of faculty. In case you missed it, please join me in congratulating Corey Lloyd and Jeff Cooper. And now we'd like to honor two of our outstanding staff members. To present these PACE Outstanding Employee Awards, please join me in welcoming the one and only President Jeff Fox.